Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you all are well and good. I'm very happy to be where I am right now. There's lots of bugs and bees flying around. I am in the community orchard. And yeah, it's always a chill vibe here. I love just coming and sitting here sometimes. Every now and again, not too often, but when I do come, it's always peaceful. I'm so glad that they started this because this is such a nice environment to be in. Anyways, I'm here because I wanted to, this is my third time. Third time, 3.5 maybe times trying to record this video. But I have the notes here. And really it's just to explain my latest piece of art. I don't have a title for it yet. It's called, right now I'm just calling it Overconsumption because that's what it's about. And so yeah, the video today is just going to be me explaining this piece of art that I made, that I spent a lot of time working on, and what it's about, why I made it. Because I think the message behind it is pretty important. It's important to me, and it could be important to the world. And it's just about sort of the times. It's about a lot of stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to sort of answer is why I painted it. And I painted this painting. I painted it because I was internally sort of just, I don't want to say disgusted, but I was just, what is that called? I felt an aversion, is that right? I don't know, to this sort of toxic habit, and a habit that I was participating in, and that being overconsuming, and not just in one area of my life, but in multiple areas of life, and they all kind of like trickle down and spilled into one another, creating sort of an imbalanced me. And I just sort of had this feeling like, wow. And then I thought more into it, and I was like, how does this feeling that I'm feeling, how is it being reflected in my environment? And it got me thinking about, society and how we live, and our toxic habits as a whole even. So really this, bees, love them, they're just flying around. But yeah, it's really just sort of like a reflective piece about yin and yang, how inwardly reflects outwardly, and how it is only a decision. It only takes a decision to start to make impactful change. So that's just like changing your mind, changing your mindset. And I painted it because I think that the message is important about over-consuming. Yeah, I think I needed to express myself in that moment. I was feeling very overwhelmed with my doom scrolling and overeating, and just overspending, buying unnecessary things, which I don't do too much of too often, but when I do, I start to feel really bad about it. And then I started to look around myself, and I noticed how much waste and plastic and just things that are just not needed clutter the environment around me, and it just went up from there pretty much. So yeah, that's sort of what started the painting. Really, it was a feeling, and then that feeling sparked thought. So I started to think, and then there we are. I expressed it and through this painting. And so, yeah. The next part I wanted to answer is, what was the process like? Ooh, I feel like when I paint, the process of me painting, like when I really, not just painting, like there's a difference between me just like going in my sketchbook and painting random whatever, and then me taking the time to express myself. And that's what I was doing here. And so whenever this happens, I find it takes so much longer for it to come out. So much longer, like months and months and months. And that's how this process started. I think overall it was like, it had to be like 6 months. Girl, yes. So I'd be like, seeing this white canvas that I want to paint on, right? And then I just be staring at it, and I'm like, okay, what is going to express this emotion, this feeling, this thought? What image can I put on here? What colors can I use? When I decided to use red as my background, that was not just random. It was very much purposeful, and I feel like every single thing when I create my art like this has meaning to it. And so yeah, the process can take a long time, but it's just because it's a lot of thought and feeling that gets put onto the page. And then also, just more technically, I used acrylics, and I just sort of took pictures of myself, and I just painted those pictures. I had an idea, sort of, eventually, of what I wanted to go for. And I think the main idea of me just being there, like with consuming, so I had my drink in this bowl, and me with my like mouth open, and I knew I was gonna have like fangs going on. That kind of came quickly, that I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. But then the rest of it took more time. I was like, okay, I'm thinking, let me figure out what it is that I'm gonna put in each spot and why I'm gonna put them there. So yeah, that was that part. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for the process. I just kind of used acrylic paints, and I like sketched out the stuff first, and then yeah, it was up from there. I would take pictures of random things I would see that reminded me or embodied what I wanted, and I would look at them and just kind of see, I wouldn't really use them for reference, but I would just kind of like look at them. Which is kind of funny, but yeah, anyways, so the takeaway, I guess what I want you to take away from this overall, like obviously you can take away what you want to take away. Like I have no really control over how you perceive this art and how you feel about it. But for me, I guess my goal is to take away is just to kind of look at it and feel maybe a bit overwhelmed a little bit, because that's how I was feeling by all of these different things. Like you might look at it, it's a very maximalist piece, at least I tried to make it that way, so that there's like something going on in every corner, you know what I'm saying? So I hope that you can take away just the feeling that I was feeling, and then when you look deeper and closer into it, you hopefully will start to see the message of just like what we're consuming, like the media, what we're being fed, what what society is sort of like the propagandic nature of it, and like how it's really an idea. I don't know if that came through, but that's sort of what I was thinking about, and how, there's like this little tiny guy in the background holding a sign that says it's up to you. And also just that there's power in your decisions. You can choose what to think, what actions you're gonna do, what you choose to listen to, the things that you are being fed. You can pick what you want to eat, just like you can choose to be a vegetarian, or you could choose to, be pescatarian or whatever. You can pick, and you can. So this was kind of a more complex, I guess, idea that I wanted to explain. I just want to give a little bit more information or context behind what I mean when I say you can choose. I don't mean like you can choose what is facts and what kind of information, but I mean like you can choose how you react to the information that you're receiving, Like you can't pick and choose what is somebody else's reality or what is a fact, but you can choose your reaction to that. Like you can, like, say for example, somebody was giving you the option. They said, okay, you can either choose to have, I don't know, this phone here, or you can have this tablet here. This one does that, and this one does this and that. I mean, you're seeing that, okay, right now there's this phone and this tablet sitting in front of me. This one works like this one works like that. But if you're mindful, you can say, or I don't have to pick either of those things. And I can, decide to go make my own, or go find a whole different thing that works with what I believe is going to be better, So that's just what I mean. Like, I don't mean to give the impression like you can, like if somebody's telling you they're hurting, or if somebody is saying this is happening, you can't choose to believe that information because it's happening. I guess you can, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's happening right now. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, you can choose your reaction. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I really, really hope that made sense. It made sense in my head, but I hope you understood what I said, girl, because, yeah. Anyways, to continue. And you can, what do you call that? When dissect, you can dissect the information that you're getting, And, yeah. And you can be mindful, and I think there's a lot of mindless consuming that happens, especially when we are, how do I say this? Especially because we have been sort of programmed to behave in certain ways. And when we get to that feeling of overwhelm, it's easier to fall back into habits that are toxic and that are mindless. Right? And when we do that, I think we become sheep. We become easy targets for people who their goal is to get you to consume. You become easy targets for them, and that's how they get you, boo. And so, yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah. And so, I guess that brings us into solutions. The first solution, I think, that was brought up by It's Up to You is just by changing our frame of mind, right? Changing our thoughts, maybe becoming more aware of our thoughts instead of acting from this program, right? Instead of just doing things out of habit because they're easy. Like when you get upset, going and like buying a new clothes or whatever, instead of just doing that, just becoming aware of it and maybe choosing to do something different, because your choice makes a huge impact. Yeah, whether I just feel like that is important for us to know, that our choice, our individual choice, because sometimes we feel like we're not important enough, that there's so much going on in the world, especially when we talk about climate change and like, our government and all of these things, over like the phone addictions, all of these things can feel like, if this one person stop doing this, then it's not going to have an impact. But it does have an impact, a huge one too, a massive one. We are small yet mighty, we are the gentle giants. And it's, obviously when enough of us choose the healthy option, the better option, then things start to get better. But I think the first step is gonna be just being aware of your choices, being aware of the things that you do, and trying to operate less from a place or a system of doing things that you were told was better, and doing things more from a soul, doing things more from how you feel, what you feel is right, And I guess another solution, because overconsumption is obviously devastating to our environment, and America is definitely one of the leading leaders of like producing trash and just pollution to our world. And all of these plastics, and like in America, our number one consumed product is water bottles, and I find that to be a very interesting, because I think it just brings enlightenment to a bunch of different problems. Like, we have water, right? We have tap water at home, and so why are we going out and purchasing water bottles? Like all of these water bottles, that gets us into the problem of the clean water, right? And then that makes me ask, well, why is our water not clean? Why are there chemicals in our water? Who's doing this? And it just leads back to, the corporations who are trying to make money off of us. And because there's no way that we should be paying for our home or water, like we have a water bill, and then also purchasing all of this water and all of these water things because our water isn't clean. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a scam to me. It sounds like a scam. And it is a huge fucking scam. And what is it doing? It is polluting our environment, because now we have all of these people who don't feel safe drinking the water, as they shouldn't, because it really is not good for you, and it really can cause you disease, because these people are really playing with our fucking lives. Anyways, I was talking about solutions, wasn't I? But yeah, I don't know. It just, when we think about things deeply, we can really sort of see certain issues that need to be addressed. Anyway, though, a solution I think that can help our environment is recycling, reusing things. And that is like huge. If we look at the amount of waste that just one person typically in the United States creates per day, it's huge. Like, I'll put the numbers somewhere on the screen, or I'll add my voice in to tell you, but it's a lot. If you can, pause and read, but it's 4.9 pounds per person daily on average. Only one person makes 4.9 pounds of trash a day. And then overall, about 30% of it is going to be packaging and just like little stuff that you throw away after you get your package. What makes me sad though is seeing that, there's 20% of this trash that is actual durable goods. So that means that we're throwing away good food and clothes and furniture and things and stuff that we could be giving away, donating to other people, reusing. But all of this stuff is getting thrown away. And it just makes me think like, okay, well, the next time y'all see a TikTok or a YouTube video of somebody doing what do they call it? Opening or unboxing. There we go. Think of, the landfills, and what they're contributing to and promoting is terrible. And I've worked at hotels and places where they literally will just throw out everything that they're not using. If they're upgrading, all that stuff they just throw away. They don't give it to the community like that. They throw it out. And it's kind of shocking. So we have the ability to recycle and reuse and recreate things, make them to be new. We can donate, and we can just be more resourceful as people. We don't have to be creating all of this waste, okay? We can bring our own bags, right? And like for lunches and things like that, we don't have to go out to eat every day. We can pack a lunch from home. We can reuse our cans. And I'll put pictures or something up so you can see, right? So I'm not having to sit here and think about each and every way, because there are just ways. Look them up. You can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We can all figure it out. But there are ways for us to create less of an imprint, environmental imprint. I think that's what they say, what they call it. But there are ways for us to be better about that. And then once we sort of change our mindset and we become aware of our habits that are not good for not only just us, but our environment and the other people around us, then we can just make smarter decisions. And I think that there are lots of, like, this could be a whole other topic, a whole other video that I can make about this issue, but we're talking about my painting and, well, so anyway, I think I got to all of the things, and I think I am good for now. And I might explain this topic again in another video, and maybe I'll do it more detailed. I don't know, honey. We'll see. But anyways, I just wanted to quickly take some time out to explain this painting, because I think it's important. And whenever I make something that I feel is important, I think it's important for me to recognize that and take some time to sit with it and just for one, applaud myself for actually taking the time out to make it when I felt it, instead of just feeling it and going on about my day. I could have just felt it and been like, Okay. And did my own research, but I want to share it with you guys because I think it's important for the world. And so with that, I'm going to just leave y'all to ponder on what, we've talked about. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. And yeah, you can, I'll be making prints. So you can purchase them. You just gotta DM me. No, don't DM me. Actually, I will make a post or something about when everything is happening because I want to do sort of like a pre-sale thing so that I know how many prints to make, at least at first, of people who want to purchase it. But once I have prints up, you'll know. And yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day, and I hope you go out and get some sunshine because, oh my goodness, the sun right now, it's feeling so good on my skin. That's nourishing me. I needed this. Yeah. Anyway, I love you. Bye, friends. Have a great rest of y'all's day. See you next time.